The popular expression, "beauty requires sacrifice," fully confirms the image of the 407th, since for the sake of beauty, some elements of Ukrainian practicality had to be sacrificed. So, due to the long front end and low clearance, 130 millimeters, it is highly likely to tear off the lower lip of the bumper and damage the bumper itself, and in winter in deep snow you can bend and tear off the heat shield of the exhaust system. In order not to damage the engine pan, you need to install metal protection. The headlight washer operation algorithm, if any, was chosen a little unsuccessfully. It turns on when the headlights are on, along with the windshield washer, and you can use up a full tank of liquid in one night. That's why a lot of people turn it off. There are also comments on visibility. Due to the sloping hood, the extreme front dimension of the car is not visible. The massive front pillars stretched forward slightly eat up visibility. The left pillar interferes with the driver. The high lower edge of the rear window also covers the extreme rear dimension. Swinging wiper blades leave large uncleaned areas on both sides of the windshield. The galvanized body reliably protects the car from a rust. In addition, the 407th is distinguished by high passive safety. According to the results of Euro NCAP crash tests in 2004, it received the maximum 5 stars. The creators also worked on the protection of the rear. In case of emergency braking to inform the cars moving behind, the emergency gang automatically turns on. Unlike many competitors, the Frenchman has an almost flat floor in the gallery. Petrol is better. Of the entire line of engines of the 407th, most often we have gasoline 1.8 and 2.0-liter modifications. They have proven to be reliable. In addition, the 2.0-liter engine is quite economical. With a quiet ride in the city, the real consumption is 7 to 10 liters per 100 kilometers. In both engines, only the upper right engine mount is short-lived, about 50,000 kilometers. The timing of these motors is driven by a belt, which must be changed along with the rollers every 70 to 80,000 kilometers. We have gasoline modifications without a replaceable fine fuel filter. In order to avoid problems with fuel equipment, it is recommended to install the adapters offered as additional equipment for including a conventional fuel filter into the system, set about 400 UAH. HDI turbo diesels are demanding on the quality of diesel fuel. Fuel injectors become unusable from bad fuel, one piece, about 2,000 hryvnias. The low-pressure pump also wears out, and from it the wear products enter the expensive high-pressure fuel pump and disable the pressure control mechanism. It is not cleaned, and a new one costs 1,500 to 2,500 UAH. All 407s were front-wheel drive and were equipped with manual and automatic transmissions. With proper operation, the mechanics serve without problems. And if the clutch is not squeezed out in the manual gearbox, the synchronizers of the third and fourth gears can be disabled. Spare parts, 1,600 UAH, work, 1,500 UAH. The hydraulic clutch, as a rule, does not create problems, but the clutch itself runs about 80,000 kilometers. The adaptive automatic is less reliable than the manual gearbox. Its weak point is the valve gearshift mechanism. The malfunction manifests itself in the form of strong jerks during switching, spontaneous switching onto the winter mode of operation, etc. Repair, about 3,500 UAH. Introducing the new 407 in 2004, the creators spoke with particular pride about the unusual design of the front suspension with 2 levers made of aluminum alloy. The shock absorber is mounted on a fixed support fist, to which the steering knuckle is attached. This design contributes to better handling of the car, because when turning, not the entire rack moves, as in McPherson, but only the suspension knuckle. This provides greater transparency of management. The stability of the model is increased by a passively steering rear suspension. At the same time, the chassis is characterized by high smoothness of operation. The lower ball bearings on our roads serve 30 to 40,000 kilometers, and the lower silent block of the steering knuckle, 50 to 60,000 kilometers. The ball joint can be replaced separately. Spare part, 900 UAH, labor, about 170 UAH, and the silent block and the non-original is offered only complete with a fist and a ball joint, spare part, 4,500 UAH. However, some experts have found enterprises that can produce the desired gum for 800 hryvnia. Over time, in the cars of those drivers who forget to go around large pits, the aluminum shock absorber cushion cracks. All other consumables of the front suspension can last 100 to 150,000 kilometers. The front springs of the car sag to the same mileage. The rear of the multi-link has established itself as indestructible. It can withstand 150 to 200,000 kilometers, least of all, 50 to 60,000 kilometers are only stabilizer struts. In addition, most silent blocks of levers, mostly also aluminum, are offered separately. The rack and pinion steering is equipped with an electric hydraulic booster, which on old cars can cause trouble. By a run of 200,000 kilometers, the booster electric motor may fail, apart, 6,400 UAH. Steering tips go more than 150,000 kilometers. The braking system is quite effective. Peugeot 407 is a very peculiar car. Basically, he is chosen with his heart and guided by non-trivial views on life. It is beautiful, elegant, as befits a Frenchman, delivers real pleasure with precise handling and good stability of a fairly large body, and its suspension, even on our roads, pleases with the high ride smoothness. At the same time, the 407 is not for pragmatists, since in some respects it is impractical, low ground clearance.